The Zambia Community Natural Resources Management Forum held its 8th conference at Meka Convention Center in Lusaka under the theme Promoting Participatory Governance and Collaboration to Empower Communities for Sustainable Future and Natural Resources Stewardship. Various stakeholders, including chiefs from all the 10 provinces of Zambia, were in attendance, and what was more profound was the presence of the two key ministers from the lands and Minister of Green Economy and Environment, Mike Mposha. Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Sylvia Masebo, called for unit of purpose in protecting land and natural resources management in the country.
When we meet in this fashion, when you break off in groups, we must have different groups that look at just each of these natural resources. So you have natural resources. I know you always talk about wildlife because you host a lot of animals in the Eastern Province. But no, let's not just talk about wildlife. Let's talk about our forest. Let's talk about our trees. Let's talk about our rivers, our streams, our water bodies that we have. Let's talk about our cultural sites, those heritage sites that, you know, these days if you're not careful, you find even a site is being given and somebody has a title. Yeah? They have a title. Talk about our management, our management areas, wildlife management areas, which you're talking about, which are being important. The encroachment is actually everywhere. I can summarize the issues of land that Zambia is at crossroads when you are talking about the issue of land and how we can protect this land for ourselves as Zambians. Of course, through our government, through our traditional leaders, through our local leaders, because you see the sad part about lands is that sometimes it's not a chief, it's not a minister, it's not a president, it's just a councillor at the ward level who will cause you havoc and sell off your land.
Ms. Masebo called for clear policies that will benefit the local communities that takes care of the natural resources.
And I think this topic about equitable sharing must also be clearly defined, articulated, and agreed in a transparent manner. Because once upon a time, we also had community, somebody called community, but they were just cadres. So you also had another category, community, but they're cadres who are benefiting. So we need to be very, very clear about local communities, the definition, who is a local community? Because a local community is not a chief alone. A local community is not the chairman of a community resource committee or some board of some nature, or now we have what we call trusts that are being created. So there are all these several nice bodies which look very representative, but when you dig deeper, you find that there is really no community that is benefiting. We also have investors that come, when they come to the chiefs and the government, they give a beautiful story of what they're going to build. We're going to build a school, we're going to build a clinic. We have these big pledges, but 5 years down the line, 10 years, 15, 20, nothing of the nature sort gets done.
And Minister of Green Economy and Environment, Mike Mposha, assured the forum of government continued support in regulating carbon and other natural resources.
I've asked, on this project, do you know how much money has come in? No, we don't know. Now, this is dangerous. We can't be trading in carbon, which, like you said, this has become a very key financing instrument. And we need to know, our people need to know, their Royal Highnesses need to know, the government needs to know how much money is coming. And with this bill and the other regulations that will follow and the SIs that will be put in place, we shall ensure that there's transparency. So this law will help us to enhance transparency. This law will also help us to enhance the issues which also Honorable Masebo spoke to, the issues of benefits. This has been a cry for many, many years. What are the benefits to the communities? And we want this law to address the benefits of carbon trade, the projects that will be happening in your chiefdoms.
Community-Based Natural Resources Management Forum Board Chairperson Dr. Rogers Lubilo thanked the government through the two ministers for the key reforms in land management and wildlife.
And we are so excited that in the midst of climate change, we have seen good leadership from your Ministry of Green Economy. Please keep doing that. Keep encouraging us, keep talking to us. We are always open. Yes, sometimes we can make mistakes, we're human beings, but we expect that government will be always there for its people. Madam Sylvia Masebo, the issue of land that you preside is one of the most difficult things that you are handling now as we speak. I know, but continue offering that good leadership. Some of us will monitor from afar, but we appreciate every effort that you are putting in every day to ensure that our country's heritage is safeguarded. Having said that, and I think those who are used to this conference, they know that today I'm addressing you in a different platform. And I can assure you, Honorable Minister, that Zambia has continued to be a shining example in the region, Southern Africa, and I think Africa at large. We are the only country in the region that every year meets like this to discuss achievements, to discuss challenges in natural resources management. I'm a chairperson for Community Leaders Network that represents all the 16 SADC states in Southern Africa. And I know what I'm talking about. They admire our effort. And of course, it does not come at an easy plate. There are always challenges. But I think we are providing that leadership. And we can only be proud of ourselves if we work closely with our government of the day. We can define certain ideologies, but we respect our leadership. And I think that's why we stand here, to start a new chapter, to start afresh, to recognize that we need to work together. I'm appealing that we need to restart afresh. So your coming, for us as friends and communities, I think we see it as a fresh start. Can we give that applause again? Because often us as leaders, we might be misunderstood as creating a barrier between the people and government. We can't afford to do that. We need our government to be with us every day. In darkness, in light, in good times, in bad times. We need your leadership.
The 8th Zambia Community-Based Natural Resources Management Conference was marked by a huge turnout with more than 30 traditional leaders, including chiefs from various regions, taking a strong and unified stand for the importance of CBNRM.
The pressing issues that we have as Royal Highnesses in the landscape that we are working with, as we were growing, the population was small. But now the population has grown. And looking after our natural resources, the land, the fish, and the animals was easy because we could manage because of the population which was small. But now it's very challenging because there are many things which have even contributed. One other thing, the community used to benefit. Like in the Kafue flats, we have the indemnity letter. Even as the communities and the Royal Highnesses, once in a while would be given a share of the letter. But that is something of the past. So it's not easy for the community to embrace where they cannot benefit.
The boundaries. This time around, as the Royal Highness said that in the past it was easy, but this time the population has grown up. And for those chiefs that are now eyeing for the neighboring chiefdoms, we're having a lot of problems concerning the boundaries of our chiefdoms. So I think the government should quickly come in so that they can provide the maps that they have, so that those same maps can be distributed to our chiefdoms and make sure that they are known to each of the chiefdoms so that each one can know their boundaries.
Now I think we are among the few chiefdoms in Zambia that have got a community game reserve with a thriving population of animals. So to afford our people eating the game meat, we have constructed a modern butchery and a modern abattoir so that our people can still consume game meat. So I think I would encourage all their Royal Highnesses that are facing difficulties in their chiefdoms to go back to the people, sit down with them, don't get discouraged at all. It is important to persevere. Rome was not built in a day. As long as there's perseverance, as long as there is lobbying, as long as people know the importance of conservation, people will eventually give you the support that you need, and all will be well in the end.
The presence of the traditional leaders underscored the critical role of traditional leadership in safeguarding Zambia's natural heritage and driving sustainable development in local communities.
In the interest of those newly elected CRBs, you have joined us. This is a battle. This is an industry where issues are too complex. They need you to sort it out. It needs unity for us to unlock certain things. So my appeal is that this CBN platform can help us to unlock certain things. If we can stand together for our parents, the Royal Highnesses, the communities together, we can make sure that the concession fees that we have been denied years and years from 2016 to date, we can take it back.
Meanwhile, CRB President George Tembo called for more investment in the natural resources management in the country, which will benefit the community.
The hunting industry, we want it to be more productive. We are aware that if managed transparently and inclusive, it can also bring a lot of economy to our sustainable income. Similarly, Honorable Minister, we appreciate that carbon trading has come in Zambia, and a number of chiefdoms, a number of landscapes are participating in carbon trading. I want to appeal to your office, Honorable Minister, that if government can consider these other areas which have potential for carbon trading, it's one of the major sources of income generation now in Zambia to help our communities improve their livelihoods.
He also called for prudence in financial management for community-based natural resources management.
As I indicated earlier, the Zambia CRB Association has tried to conduct various trainings in financial management, but we've noted with concern that there hasn't been really improvement and discipline on financial management across the community-based organization. And indeed, the consequence of failure to account for the resources that we receive from our cooperative partners is devastating, and also it also discourage more investment to the country. I therefore wish the Office of Honorable Minister to see if there are possible motives and how we can tighten these measures to ensure that people who are found wanting are accountable for the resources that belong to the people. This, we will put it on record and we'll keep mentioning this. We want to see those resources benefit our people and not benefit individuals who are not even the custodians of the natural resource management. You may wish to know, Honorable Minister, that we have noted with concern that despite this insinuation, it is not really our community-based organization with problems, but the problem is most coming from the controlling officers. So we wish to make sure that we wish to urge and request your office humbly, Honorable Minister, see if you can put measures on how these agencies that are in various landscapes can assist you to ensure transparency and ensure prudent use of those public funds.
Another key issue that was collectively agreed upon by hundreds of community resource boards was standing firm against the consumption hunting ban of trophies, advocating for sustainable practices that balance conservation goals with community livelihoods.
The West need to leave the decision of managing this wildlife and their products to the people that have the wildlife. where wildlife belongs. Because like I've said, us as communities, we take these animals as our banks. We take these resources as our banks. And the decision should be made by us, the true owners of these resources. And the decision should be made by us. I think it's very unfair for the West countries to start making decisions on our behalf. You see, hunting actually promotes sustainable management of wildlife and increases actually wildlife, because the revenues coming from hunting from these animals goes back, invested back to ensure that there is proper and sustainable management of these protected areas and wildlife in our areas.
We have a very simple message for British Parliament. Us as communities in Zambia and Southern Africa, we benefit from trophy hunting. That's why we want this business to continue. So the British government cannot come back to Africa and colonize us again. No. This law is bad, it's not good for wildlife, it's not good for communities. So our message is very simple. Stop it now. Stop it now. His Majesty the King of England, this message is for you and your people. Stop it now. We defeated you during colonialism, we'll defeat you again on this issue. Viva wildlife! Viva wildlife! In Zambia, we support hunting. Full stop.
Several stakeholders voiced their views that resonated as a reminder of how policies should align with realities on the ground to benefit both people and nature.
UNDP fully recognizes the importance of equity in the participation, access, as well as benefit sharing and control over resources of women and men, particularly looking at them as catalysts for sustainable development results. There are some considerations, of course, to promote consistent results in gender equality, equity, and natural resource conservation. And this should include ensuring reviews of institutions, strategies, and policies using gender lens when it comes to planning, budgeting, implementing, monitoring, and evaluation. This is important to ensure provision of opportunities for gender equality, equity, women's empowerment, and closure of the gender gap. Many financing solutions such as bioprospecting, carbon offsetting, and green financing constitute directly to gender and biodiversity benefits, and therefore we should strive to have equal and equitable participation and access to all planning and decision making.
On behalf of the House of Chiefs and the communities we serve, I stand here today with profound gratitude as we convene at the 8th Community-Based Natural Resource Management CBNRM conference. This event is more than a gathering. It is a reaffirmation of a shared commitment to protecting Zambia's natural heritage and ensuring that the benefits of these resources uplift the livelihoods of our people. First, I extend our heartfelt thanks to the guest of honor, the Minister of Green Economy and Environment, for gracing this occasion with your presence and delivering an inspiring address. A special thanks to the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources and Member of Parliament for Chongwe for warmly welcoming us into our area for this important meeting. Your leadership is critical as we seek solutions to pressing challenges in conservation and community development. To our esteemed government officials, traditional leaders, and community representatives, thank you for your dedication to this cause. Your presence today affirms a shared belief in the power of partnership and collective action. Allow me to especially commend our traditional leaders who have steadfastly protected our cultural heritage and biodiversity. Your leadership, Royal Highnesses, remains a guiding light for the communities that depend on Zambia's natural resources for their survival and prosperity.
The call for a solid foundation for continued advocacy and collaboration for community-based natural resources management, once enhanced, will truly change the face of the CBNRM forum going forward.